Same game parlay between the Hornets and the Kings, and a player prop of the day that is hitting 26 out of the last 30 games. All that and a lot more on the prop line. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I am Andy Lang from wagertalk.com. We're going to go over a lot of props. We got several sports. It's a big NHL night. We got a few NBA games, but it's going to be NHL heavy a little bit. But we got some really good NBA ones. I've got an MLB wins total prop for you. And I've got an interesting prop here in golf. But as always, you guys know what we start off with. The same game. We missed the same game parlay yesterday. We had the Magic and the Pacers. And the Pacers, as a Pacers fan, them winning outright, just so stupid. But it tanked our same game parlay. So that moves us to 8-3 run on same game parlays. We did hit our best bet, but let's do this same game parlay tonight. We're going to go to the Hornets and the Kings. I'm going to take the Hornets minus 10.5 on the alt line. These lines are on DraftKings. The Hornets, they've won 3 in a row by 19 plus, and they beat the Kings on March 11th only by 8, but that was on the road, and that was a second leg of a back-to-back, so I expect a little bit better performance from them. Kings, they do a good job beating other bad teams. I don't know if you're real happy if you're a Kings fan that they beat other bad teams, but once they have a minor step up in competition, they get blown out. Their last 2 losses, they lost to Philly by 21 and the Spurs by 28, so we'll take the Hornets minus 10.5. LaMelo Ball, we're going to go over his rebounds, just 3+ rebounds. He's gone over in 13 out of the last 14. He's averaging 8.7 rebound chances, and he had 6 against this Kings team. And then Brandon Miller, 2+ made threes. He's gone over this in 15 straight games and 28 out of 30. So you wrap that all up, and it's a minus 125. Same game parlay on DraftKings. All right, we hit our play of the day yesterday on Gary Payton. We're going to probably go back to that. He's going to be playing more minutes. Just prayers up for Moses Moody. If you didn't see it, it was a gruesome knee injury. That's a potentially career-ending knee injury for Moses Moody. So I hope he's okay. But if we're talking props, Gary Payton's going to see a few more minutes now. That Moody's going to be out for the foreseeable future. So, all right, play of the day. Charlie McAvoy has been an absolute wagon. I'll play the drop here in a bit, but we're going to take him to have a point. It's a little bit juicy. I don't think it's juicy enough. We're looking at around minus 150. He's had a point in 26 out of the last 30 games. Yes, this is Charlie McAvoy we're talking about. He's just been on fire this year. He's played Toronto twice this season, and he had a point and 2 points in both those matchups. Toronto has given up 12 goals the last 3 games, and the Bruins have scored 6 and 4 goals the last 2 games. So checks all the boxes. We've been really, really good with Charlie McAvoy props. Sometimes you just lock onto a guy and you end up being really good on certain props, but I did not see Charlie McAvoy as the absolute wagon that he has been. Charlie McAvoy, amazing. So, all right, well, let's go to the market watch here. Let's go to some other plays that you can look at. Carcone for the Utah Mammoth, over 1.5 shots. He's gone over 9 out of 10 games. This is going to miss the card because he's got a couple games with only 2 shot attempts. They just happen to be right on goal. So he doesn't get a ton of shot attempts, but he's pretty efficient with them. But that's something you could look at in the Mammoth game. Brian Rust in the Penguins Avalanche game. This one might make the card. This is a pretty good one. Brian Rust will have a point. He's over in 12 out of the last 13 games, and he's gone over in the last 7 games against Colorado Avalanche. So Brian Rust to have a point. And we move to the NBA. There's a single prop I do like in that Hornets and Kings game besides the same game parlay. It's Kobe White over 21.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's had 24 PRA in 4 straight games. He's playing 20 minutes, and his usage is going way up. You look at the usage; it just keeps going up and up and up. Potential assists are going up, averaging 12.6 shot attempts. He's getting 8.2 rebound chances, and the Hornets' offense is absolutely humming. They're putting up 120 plus recently. And again, they play Sacramento tonight. This could be a really, really good stat padding game for some of these Hornets. And on top of that, Kobe White's really good. He's just a really good player. So Kobe White over his points, rebounds, and assists. Pelicans and Knicks, Sadiq Bey over 2.5 assists. This is a really strange one. The last 4 games, he has 5, 6, 7, and 11 potential assists. That is so outlandishly high for what he's normally at that this prop is almost a little bit concerning for me. I don't know if I'd necessarily buy it, but him getting that many potential assists is pretty crazy. So Pelicans, Knicks, Sadiq Bey over 2.5 assists. Cavs and Magic, Max Strus is back. He's played 4 games this season. We're going to take a look at his rebounds, over 4.5 rebounds. He's had 6+ in 4 games this season. 9 rebound chances is what he's averaging. So it's right on that threshold of the 50%. We always talk about this on the prop line. When you're looking at props, when you're looking at these assists and these rebounds, you want the prop to be 50% or lower on the potential and rebound chances. So Max Strus over 4.5 rebounds. That checks the box a little bit. All right, we've got golf and MLB, but it is $5 Tuesday over at Wager Talk. It's a loaded card for us. We have a lacrosse play that is up for $5. We have a cricket play that is up for $5, and we have an NBA prop that is up for $5. Nobody's been hotter the last 3 days. We have been seeing the sports really well, and for $5, you can just go get any of the plays. If you've not been on cricket, a lot of these games are overnight. That's what this is. These are great because you put the play in, you go to bed, and you wake up, and there's money in your account. NBA props, we are on a 7-1 run over at Sports Memo. Most of those have been NBA props, so we're seeing NBA really well. We hit our play of the day on the show yesterday, so seeing NBA really well. And then lacrosse, these lacrosse plays, Dan is just doing incredible work. Dan is our lacrosse department. 19-8 on lacrosse plays this season in college lacrosse. He's just been phenomenal, and this play has been up for about 36 hours. The line is still holding strong. So lacrosse, cricket, NBA, we got a really good chance to go 3-0 tonight. So loving the plays for $5 Tuesday. Let's do MLB and then golf, and then I'll touch on, I did a little deep dive into our accounts and seeing what's working and what's not working for ourselves and for clients. I'll go over that real quick at the end. We got time. Major League Baseball, most wins by an MLB team under 104.5. Nobody got to 100 wins last year. These teams know that they need to be healthy for the playoffs. So I don't think you're going to get these guys that are playing a million games and pitchers that are going really deep into these games and into the season. So I think these teams are managing their health. They're resting guys. And, in all playoffs, NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, it doesn't matter. All of them. One of the things they have in common is look at the team that wins the championship. They're normally the healthiest. Yes, they're good, but they're also the healthiest. So I think these baseball teams know it doesn't really matter what the regular season wins are. We need our guys to be healthy. I think that's the most important thing. So I'll take the under 104.5 for the most wins by an MLB team. And then the Houston Open, I got to bring up Sahith Theegala. He cost us some money on a client play last week. He was terrible on Thursday, and then he shows up to his tee time on Friday, and he's got his wrist wrapped. That's the kiss of death. Once a golfer hurts his back or his wrist, forget it. And he was terrible. He missed the cut. It tanked the play. So then I watched TGL last night, and there he is. And he's playing, and he's got his wrist wrapped. And he was awful, absolutely awful playing in simulation golf. He is slated to be in the field this week at the Houston Open, and I don't get it. He's plus 184 on FanDuel to miss the cut. I would take a sprinkle on that. I don't even know if he's going to tee it up. If his wrist is really hurt, he may take some time off. But even if he does play, he was so awful on Thursday and Friday. And then last night, something is not right. Again, anytime you have a back or a wrist injury, forget it for a golfer. So those are the props. Okay, deep dive into what's working, what's not been working. What has not been working for us easily is UFC. UFC has tripped us up and a lot of people up in the community. A lot of guys that I know that are normally profitable, and UFC's one of their main sports. It's just not happening. The move to Paramount really has not been well. So that has been by far the biggest downfall for us this year. On the flip side, we're up 35 units for clients, and the three big ones are definitely boxing, lacrosse, and tennis. Jan came to us at the beginning of the year and said, we need to be putting in boxing plays. Now that Zuffa's there, you're having more continuity with the events, and Jan has done fantastic. 12-5, We normally have one play each week, and it's a big one, and he's done fantastic work with that. We talked about lacrosse, 19-8. Tennis has been one of the big revelations this year, and it's been in the doubles markets. We went 5-0 in the Miami tournament, and that has been a market that we said at the beginning of the year, there's something there. So I've kind of spearheaded that project, and it has been fantastic. So tennis, lacrosse, and boxing have been the best parts of the all-client, all-access experience, UFC. We'll figure it out. The good news is we have PFL coming up this weekend, and the reads on PFL have been good. So I think we're going to start focusing our money and our resources on that. So, all right, if you guys could hit the like button, please go grab those $5 plays. If you haven't bet on any of these sports and you want to see what the write-ups are like, this is the perfect day to do it. This is why we do it. So you can try out a handicapper or try out sports that you're not used to. You never know. You might like it. You might like winning money on cricket overnight. I know I've become addicted to it. So leave a comment below. It really helps the algorithm out, helps Wager Talk know I'm doing a good job for you guys. Thanks very much. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see everyone later.